We're here with Tommy Lee Edwards, star of Bullet Points, and of course the upcoming 1985, written by an unknown writer named Mark Miller. How are you doing, sir?
Good, thanks.
Well, work seems to be going well for you. Anything particularly you're excited about coming up outside finishing up 1985?
Mostly, I guess as far as comics go, 1985 is the big one. So that's what's been taking most of my time this past year. Penciling and inking and coloring that thing, and that, I think the first issue starts coming out in the middle of May, and I have I just finished like an Indiana Jones kids book and just a handful of other things, but yeah, I'm really, really proud of 1985. I think it's a really, really good comic.
Quick history lesson. How did you get into comics?
I got into comics, I was really into it in the 80s, which is one of the reasons I enjoyed drawing 1985. I went to school for illustration at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena in LA. And this was in the early 90s, and there actually wasn't a lot going on in comics that I was super into. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do some other stuff, I guess. But as time went on, I just found that I really, really enjoyed comics. And then when I was 19, I met Howard Chaykin at a convention. And he and I got to talking about illustrators that we liked, and really hit it off and became friends. And then we ended up sharing a studio, and then he just kind of really helped kind of keep me interested and keep me, kind of reinvigorate me as far as comics go, So I was really, really got into it, and Howard helped me get in touch with certain editors and get my work in front of on certain people's desks, and it really helped open the door for me.
Your style, very definitive, very unique. What are your outside influences?
My influences? Yeah. Well, my teachers at school were a huge influence, and then being influenced by comics of the mid-'80s, and also I was lucky enough to have private instruction from around 6th grade and up, and there was an illustrator in Detroit named Ed Hubert, and Ed really helped me learn about a lot of illustration that I was into, like Bill Sienkiewicz, and Ed would say, oh, if you like that, you might like Bob Peak and Bernie Fuchs and all these guys that obviously Bill was into, but being stuff that was done usually mostly in the 60s and 70s, stuff that I wasn't really aware of. So illustration of that era really was a big influence on me. So Austin Briggs and Noel Sickles, and then through Howard, and Howard was a huge influence on me. And then Howard helped introduce me to even more of stuff that he was into, so Milt Kniff and Alex Toth and all the guys that I'm really into as far as comics go.
Being part of a studio, the Boulevard, do you feel that's helped both build your name and help establish, say, some of your friends into the industry?
I think we're all pretty well established, but it helped. But we've established a studio and like a brand and like a known entity to us, which I think has been pretty unique as far as other artists go. We're all spread around the country, but we do all of our conventions together. We're working for different companies. Bernard's drawing Wonder Woman. Sean just came off of everything at Marvel. Now he's over at DC. What's the name of that book Sean's doing? Salvation Run. Sean's doing. John Paul Leon's doing just about everything, but finishing Winterman. Trevor Goring, he couldn't be here this weekend because he's working on a new movie for Warner Brothers. But we all kind of like basically, help each other out.
The reason I ask that if new artists are coming about, to get your foot in the door, it's always a big thing to do it solo. But they always say, come with a writer, come with so and so. Do you feel it's a better idea to, brand yourself as sort of a studio? Or would you rather build your name first and then build yourself as a studio?
Yeah, I I don't think. Well, I mean, it's nice to have some camaraderie and support. And I mean, I find a lot of people are showing me their work, and they're wanting a critique, and they're wanting feedback. And part of it is because they're not getting it from anybody else. So that's really good, because we're always sending each other our work. And hey, what do you think about this? Is the storytelling clear? What do you think about this design here, this layout? Or I need some help finishing this up and want to team up on it. So that stuff's really cool. I don't think that's really that important when you're starting out, as far as being a studio or coming with a writer or something. I don't, unless you feel really, really strongly about you want to work with these people or something, then you can show them what you guys can do. But as far as having a group, of people for support and to help critique each other and get each other better, that's important.
Couple more questions. DC comes up to you one day and says, Tommy, we got a project. You can do, here's carte blanche. You can do whatever you want. Whom would you like to work with? What character would you like to do? What story would you like to tell?
At DC?
Yeah.
I think that Rick Beach and I would do a good job with resurrecting the question and doing it in a good way. I think what we did with the miniseries was really good, and it's kind of sad to see what they've done with the character now. But I would love to just keep calling it the question. That was by far the best thing I've ever been able to do at DC.
What's coming up next for you outside of 1985?
Outside 1985, we've got some stuff for EA Games and some stuff for Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones stuff, some Star Wars stuff, and stuff. Some of it I can't really say what it is, But
secret projects in the works.
But and then after 1985, as far as comics go, I'm on issue 4 in 1985, so I've got another few months to go. And then after that, I'm setting up another miniseries at Marvel.
Excellent. And lastly, thank you for doing that studio tour on CBR.
Oh yeah,
very
sure.
pleasurable.
Yeah,
it's very nice to see you get a little glimpse inside. Is there anything anywhere on the net in particular you'd like to populate that folks can find you at if they want advice?
Oh sure. Well, I have a blog, and you can find it through my regular website, which is just TommyLeeEdwards.com. So there's a blog there where I have my little access to the outside world and show sketches and the process and little peeks at what I'm working on and stuff. And that's kind of cool, And people are always free to contact me.
Right on. Pleasure, man.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
You're welcome. Thanks.